Africa. She's like, oh really?
And like, but the oh really was like in disbelief, you know. And I was just like, yeah, like we travel too. It's okay.
Planes land by our country too.
you know.
No, man.
That's so crazy.
Hold on. Wnkd, before you go, thoughts on the cheesecake story?
I don't have any thoughts. I think like in this day and age, we take private matters to the public, and it becomes very destructive.
Yeah.
Something like this for me, yes, it's not ideal, and we don't condone any of whatever may or may not be happening. But there's a lot of people involved, children, families, etc. And I think like you have to be mindful of the repercussions in the long term, because this is very now, but what's happening right now mean in 5 years time, 10 years time, 15 years time, 20 years time, when the kids are older, when this and that? Because how must those kids go to school now?
That was my thought. That I felt like, yes, Sonia was completely right in like trying to burn everything down, show how angry she is. But now this is on internet forever, and your kids are gonna be teenagers.
The kids are gonna go to varsity and be like, "Hey, yo, didn't your dad cheat with a cheesecake, my guy?" Like, you get what I'm saying?
It's so crazy.
It's crazy.
So crazy.
It's crazy.
And I even say that like just like how generally females put out content on the internet, like that conversation too. I'm like, do you guys understand what happens when your kids go into? I mean, if you say I'm not having any kids or whatever the case is, I mean, go ahead, do you, right? But when you bring that into the conversation, do you understand how that even translates? It's crazy, dude. It's so crazy. So the fact that you mentioned that is 100% correct. I hear that, and I agree with it.
Like, just think of how easily it's going to be for those kids to be bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and that's a real thing.
Like they don't even need to say anything outside of just cheesecake.
That's it.
And like it's done. Yeah, Tupperware. Like, oh, what's your lunch in? Do you have a scarf-tin?
No, I have a Tupperware. Yo, that's
done.
Tupperware needs to hire us for a campaign. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, you did say that, TK. I saw that. I was like, yeah, but you're 100% right, though. They should be running ads right now, for sure.
They should be. Checkers didn't head on.
Guys, I gotta head out. Enjoy the conversation.
Okay. It's been good, man. Thank you for coming.
Much love. Thank you. Thank you, Wnkd. Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube superstar.
Condomize. Condomize. Don't be neck
I'm fanboying right now. I'm literally fanboying right now because I don't know if you forgot, Wnkd. I actually auditioned at one of your auditions,
and he said
I
no.
absolutely killed it. And no, he said yes. He literally switched off. He switched off the music I was auditioning to. It was him and like some other girl called Late Angel, I think. Fiona, there you go. That night, I battled her in a house battle, and I beat her. And I was like, "Wait, this is
you, Malik? Oh my god, that's crazy!
That's crazy."
Fiona told me about the battle. In fact, I think that was at Kryptonite in Centurion.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, I might have been there. That's dope. I might have been there. Shut up.
You're late, Kevin. You're late. Stay out of this one.
I'm fanboying, man. I literally watch your YouTube channel like as much as I can, and like I'm a fan, dude. I'm just saying. I'm a fan.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the content that's about to come from the US is about to be back. So
we'll stay tuned.
I'm excited.
Let's go.
Thank you, man.
Shout out.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Later.
Everybody go follow Wnkd's page.
Everybody do that.
I don't know. Tige, what's his page?
Ndlovu on Instagram it's Hungani Ndlovu. His YouTube channel is Ndlovu's Uncut. Ndlovu's Uncut. Yo, the white in me has come out. It must be the mic.
You can catch him on Instagram, and then you can find his page there.
Exactly.
You can hear what TK
Navigation. Kelvin thinks, bro. Kelvin thinks navigation is the way, dude.
Yeah.
You understand?
So let's get a bit deeper with this. Sorry, Calvin, you can go.
No. Literally, probably what you're going to talk about is what it's
I was going to say, let's get a bit deeper with this conversation regarding this Matthew Booth and Sonia Booth thing, because it's been the chat for the week.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to this, because one, on social media, the public is like saying, yo, Matthew Booth is messed up, see, men are trash and whatever else. And I understand his behavior is like completely wrong and everything is done. Plus he's suing his wife, which is weird because they're married in community or property, so you're kind of suing yourself.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
She said that.
But now it's like no one's talking about the side lady, Bongani, who's been cheating for 10 years. I'm just trying to understand. As a guy, if you get cheated on for 10 years and you stay, no, that doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry, Klaus was being a cuckold. I'm sorry. In one of those 10 years, he was being a cuckold. For real.
Nah.
For real.
Look, literally what you're talking about is what I was saying, like, I think a day or two ago to somebody, and I was like,
yeah.
For me, the whole conversation is not one-sided. And this is one of those incidents that kind of just evidently show you the campaign on, men cheat, blah, blah, da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole narrative is one-sided. And I'm just watching and I'm reading and I'm like, guys, there are two people here that are both in marriages, that are both cheating. How is it you can never trust men? Men will embarrass you. And I'm like, it just shows where everybody just like mentality is at. Like, this woman has been doing this. I think Matthew been at it too, for the most part. But like, for this lady, from what Klaus is saying, it's like, this is the first time, obviously, it's like really gone public or whatever. She sounds like a professional cheater, which most women are.
You know what? I want to ask you guys this, and I don't know if there are any guys watching online right now. If you are in love, are you going to leave the woman if she cheats on you? Or is there like a limitation you have before you can go, okay, forgiveness is done now, that's it?
Yes, I'm leaving. I'm going to let you finish, TK, but yes, I'm leaving.
From the get-go?
From the get-go.
I can't tolerate cheating, bro. I'm with Calvin. I'm leaving.
No. You're going
to make me a Popeye? It's so disrespectful.
It is. Like, it is. It really is. It's like, at the place that, because at the place that you get to do that, it's like, this thing that we have really no longer exists. Like, we're not here anymore.
Wait, do you think you can't recover from cheating? Not the person. You think couples can't recover from cheating?
I'm going to say, look. I mean, and this is definitely a personal stance, heavily. It's a chat that I speak on quite often. When it comes up, it's like, from experience, like, I've been in a situation where it's happened to me. It's happened to me twice. But when I speak about it, I'll always speak on the root of it. And I love and respect my father. But unfortunately, that incident has happened in my family, and I've had a conversation with my mother about it. And it's worse seeing the result of it, especially also when there's a family, of course. I think that's even worse. When individuals are still like, when it's just like two individuals, there's still a bit of that room for you guys to either, I think, fix it or go your separate ways. When it's a family, it's such another tier, dude. It's such a whole another tier, So for me, I don't I don't move like that in any of my relationships, literally. Even till today, like, it's something that I practice at this stage in my life, where it's like, I practice a level of commitment that when I'm in a committed relationship, I don't step out for anything. I rather sit with my partner and be like, yo, this thing isn't working for us anymore. Like, it's not working for me. And I'm not in it like that. In fact, I've been having conversations with somebody else, and it looks like it's going a certain way. And before it gets even further, I wanted to have this chat with you. I'd rather that. That's a little bit more respectful. And even on the receiving end of that, I would rather have that than to find out through whatever text or calls or whatever the case is that, something else has been happening.
Okay, wait. So wait, let me ask you this, because you said you've gone through this twice. The first time it happened, did you stay or did you leave immediately?
So from my experience, I left the person, but then I went back. That was my biggest mistake. My mistake was allowing a whole conversation to happen. First and foremost, there's no great reason really. And then I left, and then I came back, and then it happened again, essentially.
And just to add on to what Calvin is saying, and I mean, separating from someone that you've been with for a very long time is very difficult. That coming to that decision by yourself is very difficult on its own. And having to tell yourself that I no longer love this person, I no longer want to be with this person, is a huge step. So now adding that family element into it, there's a lot of repercussions towards that. And I mean, yes, Calvin did go back to his partner, but like it's a thing of having that idea of I've been with this person for a long time, let's see if we can try and work it out. But then it showed that it couldn't be worked out, and then he left again. Right?
I think things like change also. Like nothing is the same after that. I don't think things can be the same.
It's really not. It's really not.
I don't think
and now for and like in Sonia's case, I feel like she was fed up. She was fed up. I think what tipped it over the scale was the cheesecake, because she wanted that fucking cheesecake at the end of the day. But like now for her to have. She wanted that cheesecake. She saw Matthew make that cheesecake in the middle of the night. She really did. She wanted Matthew to be like, yo, listen, I want this cheesecake. The family's gonna eat this cheesecake because you're baking it for my son. You get me? You're baking it for my son, and we're gonna enjoy it. And then dollar in the morning, there's no cheesecake. Kanti, what the fuck is going on? You get what I'm saying? So her feeling that and was like, wait a second, this man has been making me a Popeye for all this time. I'ma expose this nigga and title it cheesecake in jail. You get me?
Ellen, how are you feeling
That's
about
crazy.
this?
That's crazy.
Hello, Mr. Ellen.
Hi, guys. Hello. I'm good. But from a woman's perspective, and from somebody who's been through this before, I can't say that our situations were the same, right? So I'm just going to make an assumption that emotionally and mentally, what you go through after years or months or whatever it is of being in this type of situation, you don't think very clearly, right? You're not very rational when it comes to the decisions that you make. Mm-hmm. Like with her going online. I mean, I'm thinking that if it was me in the moment, I probably would have done the same thing. You sort of like process it afterwards, after the fact, and then you're like, oh, damn, man, this is like for life. It's online for life. My kids are going to struggle with it, for the rest of their lives. Whereas I would probably be okay. Like people would forget about me, but for them, it would be a new experience. When they get to high school or university or whatever it is, it's going to be a new experience to relive, right? Crazy. But when you are pushed to that point, there's no rationale that can, get you out of that situation. Like for her, it was, this is something that I had to do. This is something that I had to prove or to sort of express, man. I'm tired. I'm tired of being made an absolute
Popeye.
Puss on, national
You live in Vaal,
whatever.
Ellen.
Like,
Puss, where does that word come from? You live in Vaal.
Like, but that's the way it is, right? So you may it's an absolute Popeye. I should have used that word. Like, but
Thank you.
You get tired, man. You get tired of being pushed to that point of just no return. And she just wanted to be heard. I think this is just her wanting to be heard, as a partner within a relationship. So like the following day or whenever it was during the week with the whole keying he apparently, broke into the car or opened the car because he had a spare key and whatnot. Like, when
So
does it end?
dramatic. Like, what the hell was that? I was just like, what is that?
I think he was just trying to cover up his tracks.
But
I'm saying
something
just
people
trying to cover
go
up his
through.
tracks like it's okay, but I think he's trying to. I think he knows because they're married in community of property. Maybe their contract is different, maybe slightly different, because even if you do divorce, it's split 50-50. But if she has some leverage over that divorce, she's gonna find something. So
She can take everything. Yes. Or
Um,
more, essentially.
but on top of that, you know,
but that was still wild. Bro.
yeah, for sure.
Wild.
What's really concerning is he gets paid by Supersport, so that must be good money. Plus he's white, so he's getting paid even more.
Of course.
Why are
But
you
the
not
thing is,
paying
here's the
your
thing,
school
though.
fees?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like, who's a Sonia tagged every single affiliation that he's affiliated with, like every single business
He's
that
like, I'm blowing,
he's affiliated with.
blowing the bag.
He's like, yeah, exactly, Calvin. She blew the bag, like, entirely, like gone. Like, now there's going to be meetings about this nigga on Monday.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, for sure.
But then,
That's
if you
bad.
look at his situation, like his situation, and then you look at Katleho, because I saw this on somebody's
That's good.
right.
Yeah.
Like Katleho was like, with immediate effect, people started dropping him like flies, like with immediate effect.
Yeah.
And then like Supersport is like, this is
Yeah.
it's still running. They're like, this is a private matter. We are not entering into people's private matters. But I mean, same on the other side, right? So guys, here, you know, this matters. Like
Definitely.
this matters.
Definitely.
So guys, man,
there's a TikTok of a wife saying, the TikTok caption says, "I cheated on my husband, and he stayed with me." I forgot how. I'm paraphrasing. I cheated on my husband, and years later he's still with me, and she's dancing, and it's almost like the guy almost looks like he's forced to be in the video, and I'm always wondering like, how does this work? Like, I'm trying to imagine if I get cheated on and my wife comes with some happy, I cheated on my husband, and look, we happily restored and healed. Yo, I'm not dancing with you in some TikTok video to say, oh, we good now. No, do that by yourself.
No. Don't do that. What's wrong with people? What's wrong with people that do that? Like, you are glorifying infidelity.
Yeah,
it's emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Like
Really
when everybody's asking why the husband, what's his name, Klaus, why is he staying?
Yes, yeah.
Like, and it's not the first infidelity, it's not the first, you know, mess up that she's gotten herself into. Why is he there? Like, why is he staying? There's it's so much deeper than what it would seem, right? This whole thing could blow over, and Sonia and Thingamajiggy could break up, and then Klaus and what's her name, Bongani, would still stay together.
Yeah,
Like,
fact.
that's just like, he could like literally just continue with the relationship. So it depends on how it has messed you up, like, psychologically.
So
this is like a huge thing.
So Ellen, what's your threshold? Oh, welcome to the chat, Pemi. How are you doing?
There we got Pemi in the house. Yeah.
Pemi.
What is mine?
Can Pamela hear us?
She's on mute.
She's probably still getting a drink while we talking.
There you go.
This is my first Friday without a drink, guys. Like, the 9 to 5 is having me without it. Like, first Friday,
not dressing up, Ellen.
Okay. You said what now? No, I'm sorted. I'm totally in, like, I'm the sporty look. I've got short shorts on.
Guys,
not
don't
Ellen.
worry. We'll
That's
make
not
money
the
from
Ellen
this
look.
channel, and everyone
That's the
else's
Ellen
channels
look.
will grow, and then we'll all get paid, and then we can all dress up and drink and have mics and lights and whatever else.
I need that mic, bro.
We just don't have the
Yeah,
time.
we need to get the mic. Pemi, what are you saying?
About what?
Where's your cheesecake?
Cheesecake. This is cake.
You guys are going to be so disappointed with me when I tell you that I actually didn't follow up on that story. Like, I've just been seeing
You've
cheesecake
got a life,
training.
Pemi. Congratulations. We love it for you. We love it for you.
Yeah.
So you guys can fill me in, but I
You don't know anything.
Okay, so essentially, a white man cheated on a black woman through a cheesecake scandal. That's all you need to know.
He got caught through cheesecake in Tupperware.
Caught because of cheesecake.
Okay, TK,
and we all know not to mess. We all know not to mess with the black woman in a Tupperware.
How did the lady know that?
Calvin, please explain it properly.
To cheating.
Calvin, please explain it properly.
Are you constructively explaining that? Well, we have to evidently say the white man who was married to a black woman cheated on a black woman with another black woman who's married to a white man. And yes, we have to say it exactly like that. And these two figures happen to be public figures. Matthew Booth is a former soccer legend. Sonia Booth is a former Miss SA.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
When people were like, we didn't know her, I'm like, y'all haven't been paying attention to South African activity. She's a former Miss SA runner-up, actually. I just forgot which year and who she was with in that year. Yeah, but after the Miss SA thing, that's when her and Booth linked up, and then they dated, and then from there they got married. Yeah, so that's the story. And then the cheesecake comes in because my man's baked the cheesecake at 2 a.m. in the morning, apparently. And then next morning, the family woke up. There was no cheesecake because the cheesecake was at the mistress's house, which the husband ate.
It's wild. It's wild.
Very wild, actually. Very wild.
Yeah. I kind of want to see, because when you read if you read her stuff in context, it sounds like she's become so used to this and numb to this behavior that she was waiting for the right moment, and this happened to be the right moment with cheesecake. It sounds like she's known about this Bongani chick and known that she's too close.
Yeah.
And only now she's like, let the bomb drop now.
Listen to what she said. She says that Bongani just before the son's birthday. I hear your story. Just make sure my husband is there for his son's birthday or for our son's birthday. Just make sure of that. That's when the cheesecake thing happened. Because homie was around half, and then when he was baking the cake, she's thinking the cake for the son, only to realize, no, my man's got a
It's for the other lady.
Yeah, and they went to a trip, I think PLK or something like that. That same weekend.
Like, at least bake the cheesecake in the garage or something. But like, what's going through your mind? Why does this make sense to bake it in front of them?
But why must he?
Why is it okay for him
to?
Not even.
Why is he doing it in the first place? Why must he hide it in the garage?
Of no return that he was at, because he was like, "It's my son's birthday. I don't give a flying fuck that it's my son's birthday. I want to make this woman happy." And when you are at that point in a relationship, like, you people just need to, like, call it quits, because there's no good that's going to come out of it. There's no reconciliation that's going to come out of it, because now you're doing things to hurt the other. You care less, right, about stuff. So if that is where it doesn't mean that he loves his kids any less. It just means that he was so done with the relationship that he was like, I'm out. I'm going to make my woman a cake and I am out. And that's all he was focused on. You know, he ate, like, he literally been eating.
He's been eating more than just the cake.
He's been eating more than just the cake, but like,
guys.
He's been spending. You understand?
That is what we're about. We're not talking about what you are stopping us to talk about. We're just saying that, like, you can still come back from infidelity, right? If there's remorse. In doing that one act,
can you really?
You can. You can. Like
Oh, we're
you
about to get
seriously
into
can.
something.
I mean, it doesn't disappear into thin air, right? But you both still can come back from infidelity if there's remorse, if you really like
Exactly,
360 kind
Ellen.
of turnaround. But he didn't care.
Wait,
if
I couldn't hear your question. Calvin, what's your question?
The situation and you're like, I don't care, then you're gone.
Ellen.
Yeah.
Sorry. What are you coming back to?
Yes. I'm with Calvin on this one. How do you come back from infidelity? Because
Coming back.
infidelity for me is not a mistake. It's not like, oopsie, I sort of stumbled upon this. It's premeditated.
It's premeditated. It's preconceived.
Like, if at the
Guys, I'm
moment
sure you
you
can trip on
realize you
cheating.
had
You can
feelings
stumble
for,
and like,
for
oh, continue.
yeah, like at the moment you realized, oh my gosh, let's say I'm with TK and I realize, oh, actually I have feelings for Calvin. We live in the 21st century now. There's so many ways to navigate stuff like this. There's polyamory, there's polyandry, we can be polygamous.
I wanna have this conversation. Continue.
So there are tons of ways I could have said, okay, I just started realizing I've been spending time with your friend or whatever, and this is what I've come to conclude. Please help me navigate this. If TK is monogamous and he doesn't want to budge, he doesn't want to shift, then obviously we decide to let it go. But if he is open-minded and we can have the conversation of polyamory, then great. But if I continue to cheat, knowing very well every day, making moves, making plans to see Calvin, going on trips, like what are we coming back to?
What are we doing?
Like, for me, sharing is not caring, guys. Don't do that at all. Sharing is not caring. If you're telling me that you love me, and dutifully, you're doing every day to show your love for me, and then you go to Mantua next door and do some fuck shit, like how exactly, like how Pamela said it, how Calvin said it, there's no way of coming back from that. I mean, you have tarnished everything that we've built. You've broken it down. You have destroyed me as a person. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can come back from.
So this is my quick view. I was in the office yesterday and I spoke to some people, like, because I work in a building that has like different companies, whatever it's called, co-sharing, co-working, whatever those kind of buildings are called. And this conversation came up, and women were being honest, and I've never heard them be this honest. They were saying, for women, there's always that 1 or 2 or 3 guys or girls that they are curious about, and this is the thing they said, because it sounded like they sounded like men when they said this. There's something about the throw that does make them curious, and I've only heard men say stuff like that. For the first time, I'm hearing women go, there's something about the thrill that makes me want to see if I would do this and how far I would take it. And now I'm wondering, like, wait. And then when I ask them, so wait, your gender judges men when they say I was chasing the thrill because there's something there, but you don't tell us that you also have the same thrill, and that's a problem. So there's different standards. So you know how to judge us well and control us, but you have the same urges. I'm confused.
Why are you confused?
I'm confused.
We're both human.
Yes, but women have never admitted that. Oh no, they also have the same thrill that they are curious about chasing and they actually do it.
Then again,
or hope to do it.
There's lies in the equation. So then, what are we talking about?
No.
There's always better.
Excuse me.
No.
A little uncomfortable there, Ellen.
Calvin,
No.
why don't you please say it louder for us at the back?
Yeah. I mean, women are the greater liars, for sure. They can't
Well,
lie.
that is true. We are better at lying. We are better at creating
you're
I actually had this conversation with someone
narratives.
Yeah, because I don't know. Just that mental
I literally
part
had
of
the
a
same
female
conversation with
just
someone the
works
other week.
exceptionally well, better than What was your conversation?
I think we're equally the same when it comes to lying.
I don't wanna. I'm not trying to be a cop out for the girls or anything, but I was asking someone, like, do they think women are they cheat less, or they just hide it better.
And what's your answer?
They hide it better. They hide it better.
No,
I think they
what's
just
Kemi's
hide it
answer?
better.
They hide it better.
Good.
They hide it better.
Which is facts.
So,
It's facts.
sorry,
It's not
I just gotta expose, like, guys, this is my cousin. Please block her from your YouTube. He's been spending the
No.
children's education money on Bongani. Sonia must go.
Yeah.
And then she's polygamy with a broke man, and he starts laughing. What are you saying, Masilo? Get it together. We're supposed to look like we got it together.
No, but polygamy needs a man with money, though. That's true, though. If you watch this Tembu guy, that man's got money. He's got what?
Wait, can
You need
white bros
money to
practice polygamy?
Interesting question. No, look. Yeah, polygamy is a universal thing. Because remember, Mormons practice polygamy. If I'm correct, if that's the right.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the way Africans view polygamy versus how everyone else views polygamy is two different things.
It's too different.
Yes.
Can they practice polygamy? Oh, that's a really good question.
Yeah, but they can. Polygamy is not a.
By law, yes.
It's a practice.
By culture, like what culture says?
But white people are not cultured. So what do you mean culture? What culture is there? They're not. They don't have culture. These are facts, though. This is real life.
I get where Calvin is coming from. I get what he's saying. Right?
Would you guys judge Elon Musk?
There might somewhere in the world be a better way to say it, but I get what he's saying. Right?
If Elon Musk says I have 2 wives, are you guys going to be okay?
Hey?
He can have 7. Ask Nick Cannon actually how he's doing.
He's on baby number 12.
Nick Cannon does not have, but he has.
It's not a wife. It's not marriage. He's not married.
I think
It's not marriage. He has baby mothers.
No,
He has
I
a
think
baby
Nick
mother.
has a
Baby
polygamy
mother.
set up because he's having multiple kids with the same women.
Nick
Did
Cannon
y'all
can't put
see that
his dick in his
thing
pants,
they
bro.
posted?
It just can't stay in his pants. That's his problem. That's his problem.
No, that's a man with a plan and intention. Okay,
That's a man.
Said
That
him that go forth and make. You understand?
that's a man trying to increase the US's GDP, bro, by making gang babies. that's just a man. That's his plan, Galvin. That is his plan.
Someone.
Fuck Nick
I'm
Cannon.
convinced.
So go, Calvin.
Why? I'm convinced he's in some sort of a polygamous setup with those women. I'm very
A
convinced.
cult.
It makes
A cult.
the timelines and the timelines with the women, with these group of women, makes absolutely no sense how he's in a relationship essentially with them. Like the
He's
gaps.
not.
Yeah, but that's kind of to my point. Say like you'd assume like that he's in a relationship for a short minute with this person, and then they happen to fall pregnant, and then he go. But like the gaps don't make sense. How are 2 women pregnant at the same time? Like,
But doesn't Drake do the same thing? But he doesn't impregnate them. Like there was a time when he was dating
that's just being in
Serena.
the streets. That's just called being in the streets.
Yeah.
That's it. That isn't. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, no. What
Drake
Nick
is
has,
the whole-
Nick has got a whole community going on.
Shaba.
That's the thing.
You've got
They
a whole
know, the
community
women that are
thing.
coming into this situation know what they're coming into, right? So it's not like they're under some illusion that I can get this man to have a relationship with me, like a monogamous relationship. They're all aware that I'm not the only one. They're all aware that he's not going to spend weeks on end with me. So they all come into this thing. So now there's Calvin, there's Malika, and then there's TK. And you guys all know that she is with multiple men. You may not know each other, but she's with multiple men, right? And then it does not, guys, it's not that difficult to think if you guys have been in that type of situation. I'm assuming that we are past the birds and the bees stage, so you understand that you wouldn't need to wait for a week, a month, or whatever just to be with TK. Like I don't need to wait for a week to be with TK after I was with Calvin today. Like I can literally leave my house now and then go over there. The only thing is, you can, as a woman, you can get pregnant once. Freak of nature, you can have twins by 2 people, whatever. But basically, you can have you can only get pregnant once. So he can literally go. This morning he was with
Susan.
Neo, and then at 12
How's
o'clock
that the name,
he was with
probably?
Ellen, and then at 3 o'clock he was with. So for him, it's just that's just how it works. And then all three of them, he was with 3 women on Monday. All 3 of them got pregnant. All 3 of them 9 months later have that baby. So it's not really rocket science. It's not like I wonder how he does it, bruh. Come on.
Okay. So let me ask.
Yeah, but
Okay.
to my point, all I'm saying is that I do think. Yes, you're right. I'm literally saying the same thing. I'm just like, I think there's definitely like a we're all in this thing together type of thing. Like everybody knows why they're here. I don't think anybody's like shocked or surprised or whatever. Everybody looks happy. It's the weirdest thing. But anyway, shout out to them.
They are happy. And you know why they're happy? Because they don't have to subject themselves to going through phones and looking at GPSs and all of that stuff.
And he's got the money for all of it.
The reason why you're happy is because you don't need to go through all of that stuff. So if I willingly request to be in a polygamous, so Umjita and I are in a marriage, right? We are married, and I can see that this guy continuously steps out. So then I say to him, look, how about we just bring in that person that you continuously go to, just bring her in here. That cuts off me going through his WhatsApps, me going through his DMs, all of that jazz, because she's here. She could be in her own house, but she is here, right? So that gives me peace of mind. I'm not going crazy, you know, and it saves our marriage. It actually makes, I don't want to say it makes it better, but like, because you've reduced the arguments and fights that you guys are having over cheating or stepping out, you know, when you should be with family, you're happier now, right? It doesn't work for everybody, but I think that if more people are, if more women, maybe even more men, if they'd be more truthful to themselves, they would actually agree to the fact that if there was somebody else, if that person that she's stepping out to go and see is actually in the household, things would be much better. Trust, it would be much better. But now pride
there's no way.
Okay.
No
no ways. But there's other men that actually are okay with it. You guys are doing it.
I hear you.
You're doing it on the daily. Because if you come in and you like, you know what, Ellen, I like your vibe. I'd like us to chill. I want us to hang, right? You're not saying you want to be in a relationship with me. And then I say, actually, I'm actually in a relationship with somebody. And then you're like, no, it's chilled. I just want to be with you. I want to be with you emotionally, physically, all of that stuff. Okay. You have already agreed.
I kind of want to be like Saul and put my hand up.
You just won't say to your friends.
Okay. I hear you.
Okay. So okay, Ellen, Pemi, you're the only ladies on this live. Someone else wanted to join. I don't know when they're going to join or if they're going to join.
Neo's on the live as well.
Who? Neo. Ish.
Yeah, in the comments.
Hey, no, you're probably no. Guys, while they're acting like Nick is doing this different, I have siblings my age from my father's side. Our mothers realized when they were pregnant, men lie. Listen.
Yeah, I said our mothers
black men don't cheat.
Nick modernized. Yeah, black men cheat. I don't know where y'all started this campaign. Y'all are so.
Carlos Miller started it, and it's a worldwide sensation. I
thought Mo Duval actually did it. I thought he did it because that's where I saw it.
It's on. Carlos Miller has merchandise saying black men don't cheat. It's like a thing now, like proper. Ellen.
Fair enough.
Pamela, because you guys are the only ladies right now on here, what factors do you think you would look for to consider being in a polygamous or polyamorous relationship? Like if Mr. said, yo, I got whatever you need, what is the ABC you're looking for to say, okay, fine, I'll consider it with you?
Good question.
Should I start? Ellen, do you want to go first?
No, you can start.
With the polygamous relationship, remember, it's the guy who's taking on the many women. with a polyamorous relationship, it's open for both of us. So I can have multiple partners. I just have to bring them in and have conversations with my main partner that, hey, I like this one. I want him to join, or I want her to join. So with a polygamous relationship, I must at least like you a little or somewhat. But if I'm being honest, there must be a lot of money, right?
Fair.
And if it's a polyamorous one, I'll obviously lead with what I feel, like from the heart. I obviously will not bring you into my relationship with the person that I've been with for a while if I don't feel anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I feel I'm a hogger, so I think I'd also struggle in relationships where there's multiple people. I'm very jealous and very protective, and yeah. No,
So you wouldn't do any of those equations in real life?
Hey, never say never, waiting, but
So if approached correctly, you might consider it.
yeah, I might, but I know I would struggle if I'm really into you. Then yeah.
Okay, Ellen.
I don't want to lack in any way. So I want to have my own thing going, and you know that is obviously that. I had to have my own thing going, but financially you need to be there. Physically, for the kids, emotionally for the kids. If kids are in the equation and all of that stuff, like I don't want to think that I'm missing you in any way, right? So you have to be there in such a way that I don't miss any aspect of you. So if you're there, like man, so sexually you can't. All the time you are just here, but if you hear enough, then I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I miss this person, that kind of thing. So I don't want to miss you in any way. For me, if it was polyamory, it's just I think I would most probably get into a polygamous relationship than and not be, because it wouldn't be of a selfish reason, right? Polygamous wouldn't be of a selfish reason, but if it was polyamory, it was going to be for selfish reasons. And my reasoning would be that these people are hurting us anyway. So I don't want to be hurt. So if I'm with John on a Monday, and I'm with James on Tuesday, and I'm with Joseph on Wednesday, etc., 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 then there's no time for me to sit with you and deal with the fact that you don't fold your socks in the way that I need you to fold your socks. There's just no time for that. So that's why I would get. That's something I'd probably not get into that type of relationship, because I wouldn't have the time to worry about you. I know for a fact that I've got the capacity to love more than one person and love them equally. I know that for a fact. Like
Okay.
I can be.
Can we talk about that for 2 seconds, though? Actually,
Yeah.
Pam, you open your camera. They're talking to you too.
do you guys feel like, or how many people feel like they have the capacity? I don't. I don't think I have the capacity to do so. I've
Actually
heard
be
this
in love with.
Yeah, I've heard this conversation. A friend of mine was explaining it, and he was explaining how he believed that he was explaining a personal thing of his, and I thought he's a representation of a certain kind of individuals, where he was saying that he feels like he can love more than one person equally, at the same capacity, etc. And I was like, that's so interesting, and he wasn't really explaining a polygamy, or what do you call the other one? Polyamory. Okay, cool. He wasn't explaining those concepts. He was just explaining the capacity of love, being able to love more than one person. I found it very interesting. I don't know. Femi, what's up? What do you have to say?
Yeah,
You know,
Whoa!
I-
Pemmy, sorry to interrupt you. Pemmy, before you go, we gotta welcome XXE Legacy and
yeah, we
Tomaza.
got XXE
Share your thoughts
in
and
the
your
building.
opinions. Let's go.
We
By
got
the way,
Tomaza
guys,
in the
XXE
building.
Legacy is the best rapper in South Africa. I'm not trying to say Philip
The best
shouldn't be
musician,
fooled
for
up,
sure.
but XXE go.
Big shout out.
I came in late, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I know that it's about this team.
Yeah, sort of kinda.
What's going on? 'Cause
Okay,
I'm
but
ready to fuck.
let me go.
I'm
Let me
like,
go. Here's
Ellen.
my question. What I'm saying is, so Ellen said something interesting. She said that she believes she's got capacity to love more than one person equally, if I say that correctly, or essentially the same. And my question was, how many other people believe that? Essentially in the comments or on the live as well. How many people believe like they've got the capacity to love more than? Because I don't. I only have capacity for one person.
Zama, your speakers off.
Zama, you're on mute.
Well, I feel like
Sorry,
if you are
sorry.
able to love more than one person, then there's no problem. It's temple is beneficial for niggas only. It's not fair. You can also do it for women. If I'm able to love two niggas at the same time, then why not? I must share my love.
But okay, it's not even. Besides the whole Tembu thing, right? I personally, I know for myself, like, even just speaking to people, like, I could be speaking to multiple men, gents, whatever. And it's a thing of, like, we're getting to know each other or whatever the case may be. I don't know, man. I just always find myself gravitating towards one person.
Yeah, that's true.
And literally just focusing on that person. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not. I don't even know if it's a thing of like I can't love multiple people in one go or whatever the case may be. I just always find myself in a situation where I gravitate towards one person and I focus on one person. And yeah, into guys, I don't like repeating myself. So imagine telling 3 different gents how my day was. That would stress me out. So, ngaske sivule group chat sonke sibuzane, how was your day one time? Now I must be telling 3 different gens. My day was good. My day. So what are you doing? Now I must repeat that 3 times. Just eating. Aye, guys.
Hilarious.
I like that. That's so funny. Yeah.
That's funny.
Pemmy.
Hey. Oh yes. That's why I think, like I said, we live in the 21st century, and I think that's why there are so many ways of doing relationships that fit everyone and their individual specifications, I suppose. So I think it's cool of your friend to actually realize that. I think many people struggle because they probably feel the way your friend feels, that they have the capacity to love many people at the same level, and half of us are not open-minded enough to normalize or be okay with that I'm in a relationship with someone who feels like they can love more than one person. I feel like I'm a monogamous person, but my partner feels like they're a polyamorous person, and sometimes we struggle with that because we're not so willing to adapt to the changes. So that's why I think the many ways of doing relationships are so cool now, because people get to be who they are authentically, openly, without having to be shamed or feeling ashamed for being able to love more than one person.
One person. Solid. Ellen has her hand up.
Yeah.
Ellen, what's up?
I think, okay, so let me explain. I'm definitely pro monogamy, right? But I've also
Pro-monogamy, is that what you
found,
Yeah, she's a pro monogamy.
yeah. But I've also found in my course of finding the one, that you come across different people who have different strengths and weaknesses, right? That feed in to your strengths and weaknesses. So, let me not say, because now it's going to be very clear who I'm talking about if those people had to watch this. But like, if one person really loves comedy, I love watching live comedy, and then you find that, so there's 5 men, for example. There's not really 5 men, I'm just saying. So out of the 5 men, one loves comedy, right? And the other one loves seafood, where the others either don't like it or are allergic or whatever. I just love these things. I want to go to that. And it just so happens that I don't want to go with a girlfriend to this restaurant, right? I don't want to go with a girlfriend to that play or whatever. I want to go with a man who I'm romantically involved with. So that's what I'm saying. It's easy, or I find it to be easy to love multiple people equally and at once, because they all have different strengths and weaknesses. The problem is, like, men just can't, they won't, not they can't, they just won't want to find themselves in that type of relationship, because they have to be the bull in the kraal, you know. Khanti, if you just hold on a little bit, you'll find that you've got nothing to lose, I think. You have a happier woman. She's not going to be nagging all the time because she wants to go and watch live music at a park, botanical garden somewhere, and you cannot stand it. But TK likes it, and then TK is going to take her, you know, and then whoever else will do something else with her. So that's how I sort of envision this whole thing to be working out. But to be with one man for the rest of my life, yes, please, thank you.
Can I ask like a question, right? And this is a question I've always had with a polygamous relationship, right? I've always had this
Sorry to see.
I want to use the word misconception, because I've never been in one. So basically it's kind of like an assumption, right? So I've always thought people in a polygamous relationship, it's a thing of like, you want to have your cake and eat it too. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's that thing of like, okay, I love Isbanban, I love Ellen, right? And she's everything I want and more. So I thought of the 80-20 rule. So she has 80% of what I want and what I...
They actually got cut.
I lost you there.
Yes,
let me just quickly try and put it into perspective, right? It's not always, most of the time it is, but it's not always the man wanting to have his cake and eat it too. Yeah. It's in my situation, I at that time, I offered it because this guy kept on continuously stepping out to the same woman, like to the same person, and she was just there in my life, and I just felt like, okay, look, I'm tired of this. I don't want to let you go. So how about we make this like official, right? Because I know what's going on, and it wasn't like even a fight, you know. It wasn't like I wasn't in some sort of anger or whatever state of mind. I was calm. It was a good day. We were laughing. We were good. And I just said that, okay, look, this is what I think. I think that this person feeds into you something that I can't. So how about we bring her in officially, and then, you know, like our lives will just move on. And I kid you not, from that day, that's when things ended, because it wasn't exciting. I'm assuming, because I asked after a while, like, how I came to you with this suggestion because you were living this way, but you like it. Nothing came of it. What happened? And then he was like, no, we just decided to end it. So I'm assuming that they ended it because it wasn't exciting anymore. You know, it wasn't like this thing that they could do. So I just saw it as like total disrespect, because now if I'm giving you the opportunity to have a polygamous marriage, and then you drop it because now she knows, and now she's going to know like of our whereabouts and all of that stuff. Now that would be a man wanting to have his cake and eating it too. But this was actually coming from a woman suggesting or requesting that kind of relationship. It just didn't happen because it wasn't going to happen on his terms. It would have happened, I think, more on my terms.
Okay. Exe's had a hand up.
Yes, put your hand up. Speak.
I want to say something. I think both sides are right in some sense that, yes, even though you want to love, maybe, let's say if I'm in a relationship with 3 people, of course I want to gravitate towards one person, for sure. That does make sense. But I feel like in this generation, people do cheat. You could be with one person forever, but then there's something that you don't have that they want in someone else. So, yes, I do believe that you should be maybe with more than 3 people, but not sexually. You could be sexually active with one person. The other one should be there maybe to take you out on dates. The other one should be there to take you out on phone calls or have phone calls or whatever. There's different roles and different purposes in everyone's lives for those niggas or whatever partner you're going to have. But I think it is important maybe to have 1 or 2 or 3 more partners. Because, you know, there's a TikTok actually that I watched of this other Hispanic lady saying to her granny, asking her granny for advice, like, Granny, you know, my boyfriend broke my heart. And the granny was like, you're not supposed to have 1 boyfriend, you're supposed to have 2. And from then I realized that actually...
Oh, wait, is TikTok your reference for self-development?
She referenced TikTok.
Yes, it's reference. An example, if I'm going to have one person that I'm with and I'm sexually active with them, but he lacks maybe affection, then I know that Tabo is gonna give me affection, but I know that this one is gonna give me something else. I think that's fine. But if you're gonna have 3 partners and you're gonna be sexually active with all of them, then that's gonna be a problem because that's affecting your health. And also in terms of love, you're not gonna love all of them at the same time. But
So
every
you
nigga,
guys,
every
so
partner,
like what I'm literally hearing is like you guys legit just want 100% and that's it. That's you guys just want 100%. Like no negative, no space for any negative, no space for lacking nothing. That's
you
not
can lack,
realistic,
of course, but then if I give you my 100%, you're going to cheat because you know that men are. It's a given that 97% of men will automatically cheat, even if there's something not wrong with the woman, they will cheat for sure. So why must I sit there and give you my 100%, knowing that you're gonna leave at some point? Why not? I must have another partner once.
Okay,
So when you another partner then.
Okay, so can XXC and Calvin work on their statistics? Because when they say stats, just know, guys, this comes out of nowhere.
No.
We don't know where these stats come from.
No, I didn't make up the stats. I didn't make up the stats.
Not now. But I have files.
Okay, it was almost trying to join again.
I don't see any admission here. But we are like getting closer to end. That time we spent a whole section on Sonia, Matthew, and relationships. We were supposed to talk about Kyrie and NBA and how the Jewish people are trying to maybe I should stop saying that because maybe YouTube might cancel me. But I do feel like there's a conversation that needs to be had because once again we're in another decade where black voices are being stifled. Just for sharing opinions and thoughts and views or IG stories, and now we've got to pay for saying, "Oh, I just watched the documentary; it's pretty cool. Check it out." I don't know if you ladies are aware of that. I think we need to wrap this up, so I'll give it another 10 minutes.
Yeah, we do.
Like, I don't know if you ladies know. I don't know if you follow basketball, but there's a player called Kyrie Irving who shared an IG story of a documentary watched called Hebrews to Negroes, and essentially this is alongside the Kanye conversation about realizing that Jewish people, or let me put it like this, in my opinion, because to some degree I agree, and you guys can challenge me and correct me. When God speaks about the chosen nation, He's actually speaking about black people, and black people have been the chosen nation since the beginning. Even on top of that, even in the Islam community, Louis Farrakhan said, "You guys are canceling people who are just curious about themselves because you've taken away all their history and all their lineage and all the genealogy. Where do you expect them to find where they come from? Even though understanding that even white people come from black people, but you want to punish them for being curious." So
yeah, I think it's very stupid. I would have loved to see what would have happened if Tom Brady posted a link to a documentary about the KKK. I would have loved to see that. Right? I don't think anything would have happened. I think it would have just been interesting that Tom Brady was watching a documentary on the KKK. Would they have stripped him of his titles? No, they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
They would have just.
One minute remaining.
What happened?
Network.
Oh, he froze.
Yeah, no, I think.
Okay. Well, do you guys know what's going on about the Kyrie Irving thing?
No.
I actually hadn't. I wasn't aware.
He's not allowed to play anymore on NBA until he's done his apology, paid $500,000 to the Jewish community, gone to anti-Semitic training. I didn't even know where do these companies even come from? There's a company that helps with anti-Semitic training. I am confused. Why are we trying to control how black people move? Is it because black people move the world and it's a conversation we don't want to talk about? You know, be honest about that. Yo, black people are the biggest innovators as well as the biggest consumers. And it's like the Jewish community that runs how this works. They're not trying to say, yo, we acknowledge the effort you guys have put in and the effort you put in to also consume what you create. I don't know. It's just weird that this kind of punishment only happens to black people, but I've never in history heard about a white person or an Indian person or in any other race talking about the Jewish community and being punished for their viewpoint. Now you're losing money just because you said, oh, watch this documentary, I found it interesting. He didn't even say, yo, black people, we the real Jews. He didn't say that. He just said, I watched this documentary.
Yeah.
It's very racist.
And it's very obvious. It's very blatant. It's very obvious. But we can't. What's frustrating is that you're given freedom of speech, right? But you're not allowed to say anything. Like you literally cannot say anything because you know that if I say this, I'm going to get cancelled. If I say this, I'm going to get blocked. I'm going to, all of that kind of stuff. So if you are black, you're just not allowed to. There's certain ways and paths that you can move in or within, as long as you're not stepping on the toes of those that are currently running the world. Yeah. And those are the people that are running the world. They're running broadcasting, media, like all of that stuff is in their hands. Yeah. So if they say that you will go and get reformed, be on your merry way. But then the same person of a different race will come and do the exact same thing. And then it's just for public consumption, and it's just to educate people. And it was just an innocent video that they wanted and they found interesting and they wanted everybody else to watch. So you could have an opinion, an educated opinion on something. Yeah. But with us, it's always turned into, oh, they're starting something. Oh, they want to start up something, And all he was saying is, I found this interesting. And I think, though, we're still a while away from the end. We're still a while away from the place where we need to be as a black nation, African nation, whatever. But I definitely think that there is an awakening happening.
Definitely.
Where people are just we're not going to church anymore and just consuming what has been said. We read for ourselves, we understand ourselves, and then we interpret it in our own way, according to the gospel. Whatever may happen socially and whatever, we take it in and then we interpret it in our own way. And because it is so unique, it can't. If you don't have it, you don't have it, man. And I think that's what irks them. Is that if you don't have it, you don't have it, and they want it. There's something, they can't put their finger on that thing, but there's something that the black people have, and everybody wants to have. So instead of saying, how can we work together with what you have and what we have, because we weren't meant to be exactly the same, because otherwise, we wouldn't have the differences in cultures and all of that stuff. But everybody wants it for themselves. Yeah. And that is the problem.
Let me, ATC, have your last say, and then let's close this off.
I just wanted to say that I think it's more stricter that side than this side. If this situation has happened in South Africa, I think no one would really pay attention to it. But because that side, the racism is like a little bit worse and freedom of speech is limited, it's easy
You think
to get
racism is
cancelled.
worse in America than it is here?
Okay, I think racism is worse here than it is in America, but freedom of speech is more open here than it is that side. So you're able to say, in South Africa, you can diss the president. You can say Zuma must go. You can say certain countries like Zimbabwe, certain countries like what is it, Thailand or whatever, like some Asian countries, some other places that you limited to freedom of speech. That if you say something, you can get detained for it, or you can get cancelled. You can get easily cut off from the industry or from wherever you are just by saying something. Yeah, you can say something. You can even rape someone and no one will give a fuck. Sad, but it's the truth.
It's because we don't have the power. It's over that side, things happen. If you say something, something's going to happen. So here, we have to say it for generations. We've been making music, good music, excellent music that the world would really, really love, but we don't have the powers. We don't have the powers that would make things happen for us. So if you say something over in the Americas or wherever, you know that once it has left your lips, it's going to happen. So that's what they're stopping. Like, we can't let this happen. We can't let this spread. So that's why here it'll fly, but over that side, you can't.
I get you. Okay, so I got XCC's last thoughts. Ellen, I got your last thoughts. Tozama, last thoughts.
About and you said lost it for Lucas.
So you just came in.
It kicked me out. So I was like, okay.
We're talking about Kyrie Irving's suspension from the NBA just for sharing an IG story about Hebrews to Negroes. And it's an opinion I do agree with, but I do feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had because it seems like Jewish people are super sensitive to hearing the truth about their own history that is connected to us.
Okay, honestly speaking, when it comes to religion, I've realized it's a sensitive topic. It's like politics and all of that, you know. It's people are sensitive towards it. But honestly speaking, I can only speak from like what I've noticed is that with Christianity, right, people have made it a thing to, I don't know, they have the religion so much that to the point where people feel like they can just have any opinion about it and anything like that, right? So now it's a thing of like, if we feel like let's have a conversation including other religions or whatever, it's a thing of like, I don't even know if it's like we don't want to be associated with that religion or what the case may be, but I don't know, man. I've just realized the other religions are more sensitive when it comes to actually speaking about their religion. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're more sensitive. I don't want to say more protective, but I've realized Christianity is more, it's so susceptible to criticism, to all of that, because it really has been tainted, if we're being honest. It really has. So yeah, I don't really have much of an opinion on that. Okay. That's just all I have to say on that.
Okay, so thank you so much, Tozama, for that. Listen, this has been the first edition of Moving Before You Weekend, migrating Before You Weekend to YouTube. We are looking at building this and it becoming something. There's a vision in hand, and the reason why this is called For the People is because it's for the people. That's for all of you who are watching and for all of you who are coming. It's been so dope. I know we spoke about cheesecake, relationships, cheating, and Kyrie, but next week hopefully will be a bit more structured, a bit more early, a bit more on time. And for those of you guys who want to really be part of the chats and be part of the group, just DM us on Instagram or Twitter or wherever you find us, and say you want to be part of it. We'll create a link for you. So the way this works currently is there's a Google link that you have to join, and we'll put you in the meeting. However, you can't join on YouTube Live because YouTube has not created that tool yet. But we want to make this a conversation for everyone every single week. However, the goal of these conversations is not to just vent and be angry. It's the end of the week, so we're all trying to close the laptops, drink, be happy, listen to music, talk about what things are popping up, like Black Panther. If you're not going to watch that, please go watch that now. I didn't get paid to say that. I'm saying that because I'm going to go watch it tonight, and I'm going to be treated nicely. Thank you. But yeah.
Like, okay, so you can watch Black Panther, but you can't get seafood boil. That's in when.
I am being treated this weekend. Thank you.
Useless. Useless.
Saba will treat to nam. Yo. That's a
Like, let me call up one of the five. I need to call up one of the five and just how. What are you guys doing?
We'll choose option 1 minute.
Ask your people for cheesecake and a Black Panther ticket, then you're good.
We don't.
Cheesecake. I'd rather you bring me Black Forest. Sorry.
But as we wrap this up, I want to thank everyone who's come on this live. It's been dope having you. It's always good having people because I think that's what connects us as people. There's more that connects us than that which divides us. And I think we can have healthy debates, healthy arguments, healthy conversation here before the week ends. Otherwise, we will see you next week Friday. Please remember to subscribe if you're watching. If you're on this live and you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. Okay? Because I don't know how big Before Your Weekend is going to become because there's 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 different shows I have in mind. I've been talking with Calvin as well. We're looking at creating different things, and that might involve some of you and might involve none of you, but we want to take this more seriously. So Before Your Weekend is the priority right now. We enjoy this. We enjoy having you guys around. Thank you so much. Any last words from any of you before I end this live?
Men are not good
It's
people.
about damn
Thanks.
time. It's
Cut.
about
Cut.
damn time. It has been forever. Freaking hell. That's all I'm going to say. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, XC. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Tomaza. Thank you, Hungani. Thank you, Malik. Guys, check Malik's channel. He's really funny. His channel is really funny. Him and I need to sit down and talk about some stuff. Guys, it's been good. See you next week, Friday, on another edition of Before Your Weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.